Hi there. Today I started a really crazy adventure, and I decided that I was going to take on a challenge to do some video journaling about this experience. About 6 months ago, I decided that I needed to start changing some things in my life that were really becoming a huge burden, and I started putting out there some really positive things for myself. Well, ever since then, in the beginning of this year, I've made some really specific goals that I'm not going to share with you just yet, for the sake of privacy purposes at this time. But let's just say that the law of attraction really does work. I decided that I really wanted to work on myself and start developing more skills to help me attract wealth, and not just attract wealth, but be able to attract wealth for positive reasons, to be able to take care of me and my family. We've been through a lot this last couple of years, and to be able to also help others and to be able to work with others better. Really, just to be able to tune into myself and be able to identify the things that are the most important to me. And about 2 weeks ago, I really started listening to a lot of recordings from Jim Rohn. And if you don't know who Jim Rohn is, Jim Rohn was a really incredible motivational speaker, business owner, um, was a really great man as far as his presentations about life and the way that it really is with, you really have to focus on yourself. You have to become a better person before you expect to attract better people to be with. Really have to develop a team of people to make a business work and grow and be productive, and you have to constantly be developing and working on yourself. Well, today, the exciting adventure that I started was participating in a workshop presented by Grant Cardone and his amazing team. And his challenge today was to go ahead and video journal the experience of, just what it is to go to his classes and, maybe share some things that I've learned. Grant Cardone, if you're out there watching, I am going to take you up on it and try to make this a daily habit of my journey through this experience. I have access to about 18 different classes or courses that I plan on getting through with notes, plans, goals by the end of next year. Now, based on where I am in my life right now, that's kind of a big, audacious, crazy goal to really put all that into play and how I'm thinking about it right now. So that's one of the things that I learned today. And then just so many great things. If you ever get the chance to participate in the interactive boot camp that Grant Cardone and his team put together, you really should participate. It was only the first day, but there are so many priceless uh, pieces of information, tokens, pieces of gold, little pearls that are all throughout it. If you can really absorb it, there's a lot of information. I am exhausted. It was a wonderful day. Many of the things I've heard before, but it has been a while. And obviously, I haven't put any of them into play. I haven't done any research on any of them. But what he's saying just makes sense. It combines the best of the best of the best for business, for self-development. This could be used literally in any aspect of your life. Um, One of the things that I really loved the most as I was listening and trying to absorb it was just recognizing the skills that I was taught at an early age that so many people don't even get the chance to learn until they're adults, 20s, 30s, 40s, maybe not even until they're in their 50s. And I've heard that so many times. Jim Rohn was one of those individuals that it wasn't until, he was 20, around his 20s, that he learned about goal setting and how important that was. That was one of the things that I learned at an early age, and I'm just super grateful for those. But I really have not taken advantage of them in my life. Like I said, I obviously haven't done a lot with them because I am in one of those individuals that's in middle class, and I'm definitely concerned, and I live in survival mode. And that was definitely one of the things that we talked about today, or that was discussed today, is that, if you're not in, that upper class, you are in middle class or in poverty. And if you're in one of those areas of life and your income, you really are still in a survival mode. You've still got a house payment, maybe rent, a mortgage, maybe children that you're taking care of. You probably have to have two incomes because let's face it, our society and culture does not support a single family income if you're, going to have all of your needs met and be able to do anything, you know, other than work, eat, sleep, and maybe a few activities on the side. And that's not a bad thing, but it does decrease the value of life and the quality of life if you're living from paycheck to paycheck. You're constantly concerned about, you know, money or finances, or you definitely have enough to get by, but it's difficult to get out there and enjoy life. Um, I'm the kind of person that has figured out in many different situations how to find joy, because joy doesn't just come easy. You can wake up anytime, first thing in the morning, and feel unhappy and grumpy and ornery because you've got another day, and maybe your car is going to start, maybe it's not. If it starts, how much is your payment and how much does that take out of, and if so many other aspects of your life. Point being, if you're in the middle class, you're probably still struggling. And that's definitely a place that I have been in, and just really have had a desire to improve the quality of mine and my family's life. And not just to make the money, but to be able to go out there and to be a part of great things that give back to the community. Ever since I was very young, I've always had a desire to be a part of humanitarian aid and humanitarian aid projects. I went to Utah State University for a very short period of time. Again, it was a difficult time of my life, and I had so many things I was focusing on, and I really just wanted to get an education, and I had too many different directions I was going. I didn't have things that really supported each other in the aspect of the different income streams that I had. And I had to work very hard for each one of them. But I went to USU for a very short period of time. And while I went there, I had an English paper that I had to write. Well, it's 9 p.m. and the paper still isn't done, and I'm still doing research. And it was that very night that I remember developing an even stronger desire to help with humanitarian aid projects. One of the biggest things that I decided I wanted to do was work with the WHO internationally, and specifically someday go to Indonesia as a dietitian. Well, that still hasn't happened. And although I know how to set goals and I'm very efficient with them and they're very powerful tools, I have failed to use the tools, as few as they are in my toolbox, and I have not maximized them, especially in difficult times in my life where I have allowed the difficulties to overcome me and really have failed myself in a lot of ways as far as the happiness that I've chosen to let go of. So this year, 2023, I have really had a desire to make a difference. And it's just so ironic that here I am today at the end of a class. I did it on a whim yesterday afternoon, free three uh, 3-day boot camp, from Grant Cardone, sign up for a free ticket. And I'm like, what? Yeah, right. What's the catch? I was so convinced that there was a catch to this. I just didn't even believe that it was real. I remember telling my husband, I did this thing. I signed up for this free boot camp, but I don't even know when it starts. I'm pretty sure it's, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but I don't even know when it is. I signed up for it. I have listened to some of this guy's recordings. I feel like it would be a super great opportunity. And I got a confirmation that I get to go. So here I am thinking it's, not real, and didn't see, notifications about when it started actually until this morning, about 15 minutes before the boot camp started. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like this isn't even real. I was running through my house, grabbing a snack, grabbing a drink of water, um, getting my computer set up, getting dressed. Like I just barely crawled out of bed and had seen the notification that I was going to be able to go to this, 3-day boot camp with Grant Cardone, somebody that I had been studying up on and just recently studying up on just in the last couple of weeks. And